All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us on a new episode of Channel Orange. I'm your host, the Orange himself, LK the God, the D, the Mogul, the Shogun. I'm here with my co-host this evening and several whole lot of evenings, several whole lot of other evenings. You know what I'm saying? Puffco Poppy, what we puffing on a day or consuming in general. You're frozen. You're still muted.
All right. Am I
There you
unfrozen
go.
and unmuted?
Yes,
All right.
yes,
Bet.
you're unmuted.
Bet.
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
Look, man. Don't be judging me up here on this podcast. Orange
I
Drizzle was the
won't.
dab of the day. Orange Drizzle. Okay. It
Orange
was
drizzle.
my
From where?
favorite.
Where did you get it from?
It's Evermore. Orange Drizzle.
Evermore. Okay. All right.
Live
So it's
rosin.
like, yeah, man. We gotta give some shout out to Live because over time, smoking different stuff, I have gotten a little bit bougie, and I do like to get live rosin dabs. They're just a whole lot better. You know what I'm saying? Shouts to live rosin. All right, let's get
Shout out.
started. So the trade heard around the world.
Oh,
The
Jesus.
trade heard around the world. Now, I know we spoke previously gay trades being bonkers and such, but CP3, Landry Shamet, and 2 second round picks for Brad Beal. Holy haul. They didn't even have to come up off of DeAndre Ayton.
They ain't have to come up off nothing for real, for real. But it's not really the Wizards' fault. That's really, for what the Wizards front office did, it was good because remember, this was an atrocity made by Tommy Shepard, haunting them from beyond the metaphorical
Yeah,
grave. Like that
yeah.
was giving Bradley Beal a wild no trade clause for no reason. Yeah, giving him a
Yeah.
questionable supermax. People didn't even know if he was worse than supermax. I like Bradley Beal. I say even if you give him the supermax, why go
Well,
OD with a no trade clause? That hampers your team pretty badly. So that's a rough decision to go for. The Suns kind of have a super team. I mean, I guess. But from the Wizards standpoint, yeah, the haul was never going to be good.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. You got what is that? Uh Book plus 35 million a year. KD 47 probably million a year. Aiden, he's just about to get some money. It's gonna be like 30 a year.
Oh
And
yeah.
now Brad, you
Yeah.
hamstrung your whole bench, really.
No, we gonna have to come off the bench. It's gonna be wild, but it's
I
we're gonna
got six
need
minutes of me right now.
yeah.
Right now. You want me to foul a nigga? I got you. Don't worry about it.
But seeing all the reports on both sides, it makes sense to see the Suns were kind of hamstrung with Chris Paul's contract, and there's like saying they were going to waive him, and then being like kind of like we don't want to waive you unless we can find a partner and just be into that no man's
Yeah,
land. Then you can get off of Chris Paul, you get Bradley Beal back, but then you get his unfavorable ass contract, as you said. Not only is it ginormous, but it also has a
yeah,
freaking no trade clause. Like they
yeah,
think the man is goddamn I don't even Tim Duncan or some shit. Like I don't know Kobe Bryant. They
yeah.
gave this man a no trade clause.
That's
Like
a good agent right there, bro.
is the goat, the goat. You
That's a good agent
completely
right there, bro.
bent the Wizards over. Like that's crazy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
to the point where again,
That's
like it
like the
doesn't even make.
that's like the Joe Ingles for Paul George deal back in the day that I remember. So no, it was like Doug McDermott or some shit. I was like, what is happening? You remember how he got to OKC? I was like, what? This ain't even
A
a
different
real
situation though.
deal for real.
Because that's a big risk from
Yep.
OKC, a really great organization. They swung the fence and risked Paul George because he could have left in free agency the next year. So they didn't give, they took a swing. Paul George could have just been there for 1 year because he got traded there, been blown, and then went wherever he wanted. But they even won him over. Paul George re-signed and all that. And then, he ended up getting traded to the Clippers after Dame Lillard put a nail in our grave. But we're not gonna talk about
Yeah.
that.
And that team. So, who do you think is going to win the Chris Paul sweepstakes, as it were? Because it's two LA teams that's vying for the spot. Me personally, I don't want them on the Clippers because, as a Clippers fan, you don't want three of the most injuredest niggas in the world on the same team. Because Chris Paul hasn't even played in the playoffs last year. It's hip or something.
Yeah.
But you already got Kawhi, who rumors say his knees are never going to get better. And then you got Paul George, who's on he made a podcast. He made a fucking podcast.
He's a great player, man.
In the year, but
Let's
you
not
made
disrespect this man.
Like, what the fuck? And then you want three of them on the same team. I think that's preposterous. Now, what do you think?
Like I said, I like I mean, that's a lot of firepower, but again, it's like you got to play defense. You got to be durable. Like say we're looking at a super team like that. We got Beal and KD have both missed some games and things like that. Again, KD's getting up there in age as well. So Jesus Christ, man.
I did a little Puffco Poppy before we got started too, actually.
Okay. Yeah, you was talking about me. I got myself together. But no, really in the trade from the Wizards standpoint, I think they actually did as good as they could do. Get off the money. Let's just end this Bradley Beal. Well, they won't you were fucked with the no trade clause. You were just fucked from the start, bro. It was nothing you were able to again, Tommy Shepard did that to you. He gone. So you got to rebuild somehow. And I like what they're saying. It could be the Oklahoma City model. The Wizards can just do a quick 1 year tank rebuild where they could be a little, even if you keep a Chris Paul, even if it's not a Chris Paul, you reroute him for another veteran or something like that. He probably doesn't want to play for the Wizards. I doubt.
You still got Kristaps on the books.
Yeah. Right. Well, possibly. Porzingis and Kuzma are now, questions.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Opt-in, sign and trade. So those are pieces that the Wizards can flip though for more assets, do a quick rebuild, I like it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Windhorse was breaking down.
Trading. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying Windhorse is breaking down just how it could be like the Oklahoma City model for 1 year where they just take on a bunch of bad contracts with their cap space for 1 or 2 years. Maybe even 2 years. You take on some bad contracts and just get a bunch of first round picks attached to contracts you're trying to move off. Oklahoma City did that, and you see how many assets they accumulated with a strategy like that. You just take, okay, your Al Horford contract. We'll take that. We'll have Al Horford where you buy him out, do whatever. But y'all don't want that money, just a bunch of just ridiculous. And then the team played a little better than they expected. They're a little, above. Then you end up with all these picks. You get the Josh Giddeys, you get the Jalen Williams, you get the Jalen Williams, you get the Ted Holmgren. All of a sudden,
he said it in the
I mean,
So here's my thing, right? Like I was going to say, if I was the Wizards, I would try. Wouldn't you try to trade some more assets? Like Kristaps or Kyle Kuzma to try to get a swing at the 1 through 15 in this draft.
Yeah, but it's not a crazy draft what it looks like, and also they absolutely fucked up by not doing this a year ago and trying to get in the Wembanyama sweepstakes. They should have been tanking last year, and they fucked up with that mid-ass team that they put out that jump. And I like Kristaps and I like Kuzma, but just as a whole, the team it was just mid as fuck. It just did not fill out the way it needed to fill out things. And it was just damn, son, if they would have tanked 1 year earlier, holy shit, they could have maybe got Wemby, maybe been in a chance to get Scoot or something something to really change the direction of your franchise.
I think the Scoot might be that. He was awesome.
And like I said, the Thompson brothers are wild cards too. Like their athleticism is very
Yeah, they're good
intriguing.
too.
They're
Yeah, they're
very
good too.
explosive. You just never know about overtime elite they playing against. I don't know about the level of competition they were playing against, but like they look awesome. Like the eye test, like I don't know, they got some IQ to them. I don't know. I'm intrigued by the Twins, but both
Mm.
their jumpers are questionable, especially
Yeah.
a, a men's jumper. A men's jumper specifically looks fucking horrendous, like mechanically. But like,
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So when you draft a player like Amin or Azur, and I don't want to mess up his name, Azur,
yeah,
like
so I think
when they have all the athletic gifts, can you buy into the fact like, okay, he has everything else. Let's just teach him how to shoot.
yeah, that's what you bank on. Like you get a good shooting coach in there. It's not like they,
Yeah,
they
shooting
put up
coach,
points
of
at
course.
overtime elite. You can shoot it to some degree. So like, yeah, you get a good, get lethal shooter in that bitch. You get him in the gym and you work
Ben
that out. That's
Simmons.
what you bank on. Yeah, and like you bank on your player development and your other coaches and things like that, and him just having the dedication to be in the lab because everything else is there for star potential for. I feel like both of them. Thompson brothers are really intriguing. I'm pretty high on them. Like even though they're kind of
Yeah,
wild cardish, but I feel like again, if you have the right coaches,
yeah,
you get the most out of all that physical talent. Like, and they don't seem like they're low IQ players either. Like they seem like they're good playmakers. They're unselfish to a degree as well. So it's like I like what I see. Like I'm kind of high on the Thompson twins. Been an interesting draft. I'm obviously
mm.
a draft junkie. I've been into it lately because we're so close to it.
Draft episode. Fuck, it was 2 days away from the draft. We got the draft expert here. We got to do a draft episode, Jizzle. Oh shit,
Yeah,
I forgot
it's
all
all good.
about
We could
that.
do a full draft episode. I can touch lightly on, like, say, my overall thoughts. Obviously, we have a super safe number one pick. Wimbyana just is
Yeah,
something from outer space that we've never seen before. So, like, obviously, Scoot seems
mm,
to be in contention for number two, even though the fit might not seem seamless
yeah.
in Charlotte. Um, yeah, then we've, Brandon Miller or Scoot is, they're talking about a number two. Brandon Miller is really good. I don't know if I'm as high on Brandon Miller as everyone else. He is a bucket. He's a sharpshooter. He's got the
Mm,
size. Like I said, if you add a little bit more, I don't know, just I don't know, roundness to his game. I can see the Jason Tatum
mm,
like frame, kind of, but like
mm,
I don't know if I'm
mm.
sold on because he seems like he's really in love with jump shooting too. And he's a sniper, so it's like, I mean, that's not a bad thing when you shooting as
Yeah,
well
he
as
can
Brandon
shoot.
Miller shooting it. Yeah, it's like I ain't saying, I mean, if you good at something, go ahead and make your money. So I'm high on Brandon Miller, and I think he deserves definitely the consideration where he's at in the top two, three, four, wherever you're thinking about Brandon Miller. The character issues
Mm,
I've heard are overblown, like, just from what I've
mm.
heard, but I ain't plugged in like the real big time experts. So, but just from what
Right.
I've heard, yeah, they've been overblown, the character issues and the stuff involved with the shooting and all that. But I don't know. I'm high on Brandon Miller. When we're talking about the Wizards specifically in their range, a lot of people are looking at Anthony Black right now. That's the name everyone's talking about right now. Anthony
The
Black for the
point
Wizards
guard,
right now.
yeah.
He's kind of a combo guard from Arkansas. And I like Anthony Black
Mm,
too. I don't know if I love him as a high. I don't know. Like, I guess he does have all the tools. He's a big guard. I see if you're the Oklahoma City regime, I see some maybe Josh Giddey esque comparisons. Like, jump shot, very questionable, but everything else, you got to love it. Defense, dog. Got the length. He's switchable. Got the playmaking ability to run the one for you. Can, play the two. Can, like, you just like the versatility. He's going to be a useful piece immediately. Like a player who's super young, but you can give him big time minutes immediately just because he's going to hound on defense. And good help defense, good IQ on defense. If you look at his film, like there's a lot to like about Anthony Black. I'm the jumper. That's it, and like the self
mm.
creation on offense. But again, all these players are so young. It really depends on your player development. You get the right coaches, you give him the right opportunities. I think that could be a really good pick for the Wizards.
So we already got Vic zoned up. We already got Scoot zoned up. You got Scott twins. You got Cam. Tell me about Cam Whitmore.
Freaky deaky athlete from Villanova, like I said, big wing, really, really big wing. Maybe you're thinking like a combo between a three and a four. in the NBA and the modern NBA with all the stretching and things we're doing now in the small ball. You probably see some minutes at the four at some rotations, but definitely like a big, freaky deaky athletic. He's got some game to him too. He's not just all athlete, but that's what jumps out on the tape. Like he's big, he's strong, he has a huge looks like NBA ready frame right now. Doesn't look like one of those kids. Oh, he's got to fill out a lot. Like, nah, that man is physically ready to get it. And yeah, Wang, like I'm talking. Oh shit, forgot about that. Yes. Tall, athletic wing. Cam Whitmore. Athletic big wing, good defensive potential. Again, you can coach it. I feel like you can coach anybody who has that dog or desire to be, great on defense. But again, what's eye popping is his athleticism and his great size for his position. Great potential for field. Good, very, very high ceiling. I love prospects like Cam Whitmore. Like you get the most out of him, you might have a superstar, got a high ceiling.
Right. I feel like teams are going to start freaking out about foreign players now, like in the second round, because of Jokic being a second round player and being a 2-time MVP. They trying to, everybody trying to strike gold, and I think it's going to be interesting to see where people draft players now.
It's a trend-setting league, but Jokic just don't come around very often. I mean, second round picks are valuable. People laughed at the Wizards, but the MVP who just dominated the league was a second round pick. Like they're not useless.
You never know, bruh.
Yeah, especially the late.
You never know.
Especially the early second round picks, the pick number 32 or 33. Like those are first round talents sometimes that are slipped or maybe had character issues or.
It's just like a nigga with like a broken foot or something. Like
it could be an injury or something that made him slide. Yeah, exactly. So it could be something like that. So like those second round picks, they're not useless. Again, they're not quite as valuable as first round picks. It's kind of it is wild. I know the Wizards are getting roasted for not getting a first, but like man had a no trade clause. He can control everything about the trade. Like it's the Wizards did what they had to do to just get off the money. Something they should have done earlier, but the new regime can't be blamed for something that should have been done before them. For the new regime, you got to give them at least like a B or an A, or they did the thing. They got the Wizards ready for a fresh start. So again, going back to the draft, maybe they get an Anthony Black. Maybe if a Cam Whitmore slips, the Wizards would love that. That would be somebody that should be on their radar, in my opinion, or one of the Thompson twins if they end up sliding. But you never know. What they do. It depends on what they do with Porzingis. If maybe they can get another pick. If they do something with Kuzma and a sign and trade, maybe. So it's a lot of possibilities that we can do with the draft. A lot of speculation about trades coming into the draft too. Anything after one, it seems like anything's up for debate. You know that
it'll be a dogfight.
Charlotte's got a new owner. Michael Jordan's up out of there. They're going to be LaMelo Ball, although extremely talented, has not shown to be a winning player yet, and also injured a lot, ankles. Very, very worried about.
Well, I want to see what he looks like beside a good teammate. Not no slight to fucking Terry
Rozier. Yeah, probably the best teammate he's had.
But I want to see what he looks like next to a star. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see from him.
And I think him and Scoot could work. I think LaMelo is unselfish. He could play off ball. I think you could do that if if the Hornets just wanted to go best player available, if they really love Scoot over Brandon Miller, or you can move back. There's a possibility for them. Maybe they're just like, either way, we good, bro. And then they just slide down. Like I feel like it's a lot of possibility. Portland's trying to be really active. Portland's like, we got Dame. We got this hot potato with Dame. We either got to get this man a championship caliber team, or we got to get this man the fuck up out of here.
Like Dame reminds me of that girl. Like, we all been in relationships with women before, and they, be on the phones with their friend or whatever, and it's like they always had that one friend who just got some horseshit boyfriend, and everybody's like, "Girl, you really need to leave him. It's over. You really need." Like, no, I love him. No, I gotta leave him. That's what Dame is in Portland right now.
He's just loyal, man. He's just like, and I don't know, man. I'm with him. Like they have the asset now, have sitting at that number 3, or sitting where they are in the draft. Like they could do something. There's rumors of Porzingis, maybe that would be helpful to Dame. Porzingis. I think somebody would fit in their window and be extremely valuable to someone like Dame. I don't know. Like, I'm a big Dame fan. He's just one of my favorite players. I just want to see this man thrive somewhere, wherever, even
I
whether it's in
do too.
Portland.
I want to see him play meaningful basketball.
It'd be great if it's in Portland, if they can swing a trade that just is like, oh shit, Portland's like they about to do something, like
Mm,
or somewhere else, Miami, just get Tyler Hero or swap what you got to get Dame. Miami might have the assets to do that. Put Jovic, Hero, Duncan
yeah,
Robinson, throw all the first round picks you can muster, do
yeah.
something like that and try to entice them to get Dame.
Shit, with the trade that just happened and with everything being lopsided in real life, you see like some crazy shit happen on 2K, like a crazy trade happen on 2K. The Miami Heat probably get Dame for fucking Duncan Robinson and 3 second rounders, and they be keep everybody. That shit's crazy. All right, so before we leave basketball and move on to our main event, I just want to leave y'all with a couple stats. I did some stats in the intro today. Zion Williamson was drafted in 2019.
Doing a Zion hit.
He has
Damn.
only played in a total of 114 games.
How he get in this? Where did the Zion straight bullet come from?
And he's on his second shoe, the Zion 2s right now.
Capitalism.
I'm just saying. He's only played in 113 games.
Yeah, it's
That's a
wild.
season, and that's a season and probably a playoff run in the finals. Like that's just one full season.
And it's so
Woo!
hard because he looks so fantastic when he plays. And it's just like, man, can you just please be healthy? Please. I just want to see you dunking on people. It's fun to watch you play, dog. Like, just, oh, damn. Not to mention
Yeah,
the offseason stuff that we don't even got to get into what Zion's going through right now. Lord Jesus.
just a freaky man. He's a freaky man. All right. Ooh, that's a good segue. Speaking of freaky men, the Flash just came out, everybody. The Flash just came out. Yeah, that's a segue for your ass. So, here's what we want to do. You guys should have seen it by now. We're going to do full spoilers. I wrote down some topics. So, let's start with general thoughts. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Okay. If I'm going to start, I liked it. I liked the movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I'm a big, big Flash fan. It's like he's literally like just one of my favorite superheroes. I've always wanted this, a Flash, like big budget, like movie. And like, even though I was not a huge fan of Ezra Miller's portrayal of Flash in the Snyderverse, I'm gonna keep it real, it just wasn't for me. I'm not even a big Barry Allen fan, so just the goofy Ezra Miller, Barry Allen, just I wasn't a fan, but and he didn't do that much in the other Snyderverse, so it's just like I don't know. My opinion was kind of indifferent. Like I wasn't mad at him, but it's just like I mean, he just didn't do that much. So having his own movie was like I don't know. I was like cautiously optimistic, and I was like, looks like to be a fun multiverse adventure,
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was. I thought it succeeded. I don't think it's as terrible as some people are like mad at the movie. They're like viciously upset at it, giving it like twos and threes, and like definitely don't think it's that. But I definitely don't think it's like it's the best thing. It's like, nah, dog, y'all gotta chill. The best thing since the Dark Knight. Like, no, the fuck, it's not. Chill the fuck. Like, the Batman is better than this. Like, there's the Suicide Squad is better than this. Like, there's a lot of things better than this, dog. Chill the fuck out. Like, it wasn't all that. It just it was fun. And it also is in a dead universe. It doesn't matter anymore. And none of the consequences to this movie kind of matter, which is kind of kills the momentum of it. And we know that the person who started the movie is like basically a fugitive and just like a menace to society. So that kind of killed the buzz in the movie too. It's like, do I want to support
Donald Trump.
this? Yeah. I don't know if he's that quite of a menace, but
He's a fugitive.
or there but yeah, speaking of that, I thought Ezra Miller was fantastic in the movie. I expected to be fully annoyed by Miller, but I was only annoyed by the one who was supposed to annoy you, which was like the younger version, which was supposed to be the inexperienced, and Barry becoming frustrated with how annoying Barry is. It's kind of a nice poetic, self-aware touch. I think this is a well-directed
Mm.
movie, and it just is bogged down by a little bit of the other stuff is trying to do in terms of like we got to do this script, do this fan service for the audience, and do this other stuff. But for the most part, I liked it. Like I enjoyed it. I had a fun time with it. I give it a positive review. I don't know if we're doing scores yet, but like I give
Not
it.
yet.
Yeah, I liked the movie. I liked very much specifically the portrayal of the Flash's speed powers. I think they really understood like the phasing, just how the physics would work. How he explains like I can't move people the way most people think I could just move shit. Like I can move
Yeah.
objects like that, but like people will fucking die if you move them at a certain speed. So don't do that. Like, hey, you're gonna save these babies. Yeah, this is gonna be way more complicated than you think. You're super fast. Hey, you can just grab these babies, right? No. Like I have to creatively find a way to not murder these babies while I try to save them from the velocity of me trying to save them. And I like how that was like illustrated in the movie where it's like you have to do all this extra shit because like physics, son. I'm moving really, really fucking fast. And like that does things to human bodies. So very cool. I think just nice touches. And I like how they visualized it for the most part, even though the CGI is one of the main points getting shitted on. But some of the visuals,
Yeah.
like in the beginning of the movie when he's running from Central City to Gotham, I thought that shit looked dope. I thought the way they're just going like their perspective. I like a lot of the way they portray the speed powers look cool. But yeah, story wise, it was cool. A little overly on the fan service. Again, I wish I haven't seen any trailers for this. One of these movies, or this is another movie that convinces me, like maybe I should just avoid trailers altogether. Because like I feel like I would have enjoyed this if I didn't know Michael Keaton Batman was in. If I didn't know all the, like all the stuff, I would have been like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like I kind of saw in the trailer and saw coming. And it wasn't really that many surprises until they did the little multiverse thing where it's like, oh, well, that was cool. Well, there was one that was very cool. I ain't gonna lie. Nicolas Cage Superman was fucking fun as shit. Y'all did that one.
Yeah, they
Fucking
did it.
bravo for that. That was fun. That's what you need to do in a fun multiverse movie like this. Do some fun meta shit like that. That's fun. I have no notes for that. I can't even be an asshole. Good job. But and some of that CGI and this shit, no, fuck no. Like, fuck no. I saw the director be like, some of this is on purpose because it's supposed to be Barry's distorted view in the time vortex.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
about that Christopher Reeve shit, son? Wait a minute,
yeah.
son. Because some of these
Look
people,
like found footage.
why couldn't you use archive footage? Why couldn't you do it, dog? I don't understand why you gave me a PS2 cutscene of Christopher Reeve. Oh, ooh.
Yeah,
There's
his
some
estate might be mad about that.
I don't know, man. Some of that CGI. And also like the audacity of this movie to be like, we're gonna leave Who Killed Barry's Mom to the sequel. Y'all niggas think you're getting a sequel? Who's getting a sequel? Like, maybe I hope you I enjoyed the movie, but like by the amount of money that this movie made, I don't think this show will get a sequel. And the fact that Ezra
Hey,
Miller is the star of this
maybe
movie,
they'll make one digital.
did you see how this movie ended? You think George Clooney's coming back? There ain't gonna be no damn sequel. He
No.
is stuck in a universe. Did you see that stupid fucking post-credit scene that wasted my 10 minutes? With Jason
Yeah.
Momoa just basically just freestyling and Jason Momoa being cool, making a couple jokes and passing out in the puddle. What? That is inconsequential
What?
to anything. What? I want to know answers. He's in a whole universe. Is the Flash not traumatized that all his one of his best friends and mentor is like a whole different ass dude that he doesn't even know, and he's just like, oh well, guess I'm in the wrong universe. Boom, boom. Shh. Hey, bro, it's Tooth falls out and they end on a gag. That's the one thing where it's like,
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
his thing.
I feel like that would be horrific to be like, oh damn, I changed the universe again, and I don't know the
Well,
consequences of.
he was a dickhead. All right, so let me tell you how I feel about it. So,
Yeah, please.
firstly, now here's how I feel about the movie. I don't. Well, I guess I do get why people have a problem with it. I get it. The CGI at moments was horseshit. I mean,
It was
I
horrific.
have to give them grace for for their moments when of course they had to spend money on the chrono ball and have somebody play off themselves and stuff. So I
And the
kind of
league,
want
and
to give them
don't
some
forget the
bail for
legal
that.
fees. We got legal fees to pay, man. We got a lot of lawyers to pay.
Yeah, and they had to do some legal fees.
And
But
PR teams like
with
damage
that
control.
being
That's not
said,
cheap.
yeah, and don't let them actually like interact with people because it could be catastrophic for the movie. So I was surprised they let them go to like premieres and stuff. Anyways, I was speaking highly of the movie. It was a good movie, bro. Like I don't understand the
Mhm.
2s out of 10s people been giving it because, like I told you, as soon as we got out the movie, I'm like, bro, if DC could do that twice a year, they'll probably be cool. You know what I'm saying? The action was dope. It was hilarious. It had the juxtaposition of Sean Perry, who's an adult, fully formed, superhero, and he has fully control of his powers. It was
Yeah.
interesting to see juxtaposition of him like being around. Okay, what would I have been like at 18 with these powers? And they connected the universes where like he was there during the
Man
the
of Steel.
siege of
Yeah.
yeah, the siege of Zod and shit. He was there, and he had his powers, and that was a good tie-in or whatever. Yeah, I don't have no qualms with the movie. I mean, of course, the third act had its issues, but I chalk that up to this being the age of fucking movie studios getting it done. Like with the whole Spider Verse shit, showing us all different
Mhm.
variations of Spider Man, deep cuts and shit. Going back to Doctor Strange with the Illuminati and shit, and then
Mhm.
like even with Spider Man, what was it? The latest Spider Man live action, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. We
Toby.
didn't even think they could get it done, but they did it. They made it happen. We're in the age of making this shit happen. So I do appreciate that about this era in movie making. Now, the thing I wanted to get to was CJ. Now, we talk about time travel all the time, and time travel being an aspect that really does piss me off because
It does.
everybody has their own interpretation of it, like vampires and werewolves. So, what time travel manipulation was depicted in this film, in your opinion?
And like a predestination kind of bootstrap paradox thing that's going on. Like I had to cause the event that created me because it was predetermined to always happen. It's a lot of shit like that happens in the Flash. Really neat, kind of clean way to close a loop and have a time travel story not be too convoluted, which made it a little predictable because like this was season 4 of the Flash. This was Savitar basically without being Savitar. They
Yeah,
didn't name Savitar, but this is Savitar. Somebody said that in another review that I read and I heard, and I was like, actually, you're right. This is season 4. This is fucking Savitar. You even look like Savitar. You said that in the movie. You was like, in the
yeah.
Flash, and when he flashed the little demon version, you was like, yeah, like it is. Like that reminded me too. I was
That's
like,
Sabotage. Like, why they don't just say it? Like, you're
or
about
a
Dark
version.
Flash.
It kind of looked like the new 52 Reverse Flash a little bit too. So that's was like, are they gonna do that or like a Death Racer thing or like I don't. I'm not quite sure where this is going. I just know that this is like an evil Barry thing. It turned out to
Mm,
be an evil Barry thing. I was like, there's a Barry wearing yellow the whole movie.
yeah.
I think he's the bad guy. I think he's the bad guy. Shit,
A
who's the bad
sequel
guy?
time.
Yeah, like he's the bad guy, right? Yeah. Foreshadowing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was very reverse flashy without being reverse flash. So I guess I could save him for a sequel because they just absolutely did not answer the question who killed Barry's mom, which blew the shit out of me. And I was just like, bro, like that was important. Did you not want to know that, Barry? You went back in time and did all this, and you still just like, I don't know who killed my mom. You're the Flash. You could go anywhere. You could go back and
You
see.
probably could have
Yeah.
seen it in the Chrono Ball if you
Without
wanted
even
to.
interrupting. He literally stuck his head through moments of like you could literally go see who killed your mom, Barry. You have
Like, this is what happened. Motherfucker,
yeah,
you.
you have universal control over space time and can pop into okay. That blew me that we didn't even address why he didn't go in the moment and at least see who killed his mom. That didn't
Yeah.
bother you enough? Like I don't know. Then you spent your whole adult life. I don't know. That just was yes.
All right, so we have experience with, even across, even in the MCU, when people fuck a universe. Like when Doctor Strange did what he did in What If, when he fucked the universe. Peter Parker with Doctor Strange. Again, he's a fucking paradox.
An accomplice.
But yeah, like Peter Parker fucked the universe. So I'm trying to pinpoint in this movie, where did Barry fuck up? Because my thing in time travel, even in Doctor Who or A Sound of Thunder, which is a deep cut, I don't even know if anybody really knows about that movie or story. But my opinion is, as soon as you go back in time, you fuck up the universe because
Well, as
you're
soon as he
there and you're not naturally supposed to be here. Go
that
ahead.
in itself, but like, yeah, what you said basically, just elaborating on what you're saying, but like, yeah, like he fucked up when he went back in time after Bruce Wayne said, "Don't fucking go back in time because you don't know it could be catastrophic. You don't know what you're gonna change. You don't know it's gonna." And he went back in time and he did the thing that he wasn't supposed to do, which caused all these changes. That was terrible. Well, it really is a Flashpoint story. It's like Barry, you ended the world for a lot of people. You crashed the universe because you wanted to go see your mom. And it's like shit.
Yeah.
I was the bad, and that's the twist of Flashpoint. Like you are the bad guy. Your decision to go save your mom doomed countless lives. And it's like, damn. And the only
Like,
way to
bruh.
even kind of fix it, which not really fix it, you have to make a new thing. You have to stitch it like it's never gonna be the same. Some people are gonna be lost
Patchwork.
forever. Some things are still gonna be, but like you'll be able to somewhat fix it, but you still gotta let your mom go. And that's the lesson. It's like, yeah, that's Flashpoint.
See,
It's a great story in the comics, really.
my thing with that is just the whole ordeal from jump. Boom, you fucked up for going back in time. Boom, you met your mom. Boom, you met yourself. Like,
Yo,
bruh, what
yeah.
are we
After that, he
doing?
was wilding, son. It's like, has he never seen any? Like, he told you not to move a can of soup. You're out here while you tackled yourself. You're having a conversation. Like, bro, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. And he still's like, I guess I have to recreate my accident. Didn't you ruin everything already? Wasn't that going to happen if you would have just left everything alone? Like, Barry, you're stupid. And you lost your powers. I thought that was the dumbest way for him to lose his powers. Like, you know what's going to happen
Idiot.
at this exact moment. Like,
Idiot. Peter Parker would make that mistake, and Peter Parker is 16 years old. You're an adult Flash. What
you
are
were supposed
you
to be, yeah,
doing?
you're supposed to be the experienced one. And like you lost your powers like an idiot while you were trapped back in time doing stuff you weren't supposed to do. So after that, it's
Oh,
like, yeah, Barry,
here's where he pissed me off. Here's where I was. This nigga put the can of soup on the top shelf. You still fucked up the universe again.
well, that's why George Clooney is in this bitch. Like, well, I guess Ben Affleck's dead. You murdered Ben Affleck, you son of a bitch. And maybe Michael
I'm like,
Keaton. I don't even
dog,
know.
you didn't fix anything. You put it where it wasn't even supposed to be at.
I freed my dad. Now you changed a bunch of other things. Like, thank you.
Hey, bro, what are we doing?
Batman and
Oh man,
Robin
it's
is now
like
canon.
they made worse time travel mistakes in this movie than like the second season of Umbrella Academy. I'm like,
Oh my
bro, what are
god.
you doing? You went back in time and tried to kill JFK? You're not even supposed to do it. What are you doing?
Forgot about that.
Oh my god. You went back in time and told people you have superpowers? Oh, no, you fucked up. Oh my god. All right. So what else I got on this list? Long time travel, flashpoint paradox comparison. KTLO. Who kept the lights on in this movie? Ezra. I say Ezra. Gotta give
Yeah,
it
so
Ezra.
yeah, most of the screen time, honestly. Like Michael Keaton was fun. I feel like he was just like, let me get this back. It'll be fun. It's a one-off. I don't have to come back. It'll be cool. It looked like he was
I
having a
say
little, it was like it was all right. It was like I feel like it
I
was
say
pretty
Supergirl,
predictable.
but
Supergirl
that's
was
for other
cool.
reasons.
I mean, see, yeah, Supergirl was
That's for Zion
good.
reasons. But
That's Zion reason. Where are these Zion stray bullets? You
and
coming from a man,
and
Zion.
they was talking about Zion all day, like, bro, should they trade Zion? I'm like, it's year three. It's year three. He's not Kawhi level of embarrassment. Um, Flash, Brave State. All right, cameos. All the cameos. You spoke on the Nicolas Cage
There was
Superman. What other
like
cameos
it's
were you
like
surprised?
original animated Superman. We had Nicolas Cage Superman.
Yeah.
We had what Adam West Batman. We got the Supergirl along with Christopher Reeve. We already touched on that. We got yeah. I mean, cool cameos, but like I mean, I really like the Crisis on Infinite Earths they did on the CW, man. It was low budget, but like I feel like they had fun with the cameos. I feel like they were a little crazier with it. I was a little underwhelmed, except for the Nicolas Cage. That was dope. Hey, that was again, no notes on that. You got me with that one. I have bravo. 2 thumbs up. But
Mm.
in terms of the rest of them, kind of underwhelmed. A lot of fucking weird stock footage or weird PlayStation cutscene footage. It's like I don't this is not a real cameo. You didn't get real people. You're just kind of being like, here's the DC history. And okay, I remember. I was there. I've seen all these things. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. They didn't really have any Aquaman cameos or Cyborg cameos, but I'm like,
Cyborg wasn't
okay.
the back of his head or something. They was like, nah, Ray Fisher is not rocking. He is not trying to be
Nope.
in none of this.
Nope. Just let him go. Let him walk. What else we got left? The whole calories thing. That was a nice touch that Barry has to constantly keep eating to
Yeah,
fuel his power. You know what I'm saying?
it's something that's very comic accurate. Something with the Flash, like say you burn a lot of calories. But again, like I'm not a Barry Allen guy. I'm just not. I grew up in the '90s. I'm a Wally West guy. That's my Flash. Barry is kind of a boring non-personality guy for me, in my opinion. Until the Flash show, I do like Grant Gustin's Barry. I like that show for the first,
Mm.
like 4 seasons or so before it really started to get off the rails and fuck. But it was fun while it
Mm.
lasted. It was a good show, and Grant was still fun. It was still fun even when it got bad. It was kind of one of those cheesy, guilty, like I was watching it way longer than I should have been type shows. Like I should have been
Mm.
off of this, but like I kind of just like watching it. But yeah, and even the Grant Gustin, even their Crisis on Infinite Earths, they had Ezra Miller crossover in there, and that was cool. So Ezra, he calls himself the Flash because he heard that from Grant Gustin's Flash. That's canon.
Yeah,
So he
yeah. I
was
saw that little thread. I didn't even know they did that. I didn't
yeah,
know they was doing that over there. I'm like, what? Okay,
they
I
did a
can
big
watch
Crisis on
that.
Infinite. It was super cool
Yeah,
because they brought back Brandon Ruth Superman, Brandon Routh
yeah.
Superman. He was cool, and then like although like I hated that movie because it was dumb, but like it had some cool moments, and I thought he was a good Superman. I just thought he got caught in a dumb movie with the script. The Superman Returns is kind of I wasn't into that, but yeah.
All right. So, we did KTLO. Let's do the plane landing sequence, man. What happened up there, man? Did the plane land?
For me, it did just as a Flash fan, just because I had fun and I had kind of low expectations. I kind of knew, just follow the news of kind of like this could just be a one-off fun movie that kind of resets. Knowing James Gunn's universe is coming and he's setting up something that's cohesive, it's like
Yeah.
I know this is going to kind of just be a one-off thing. And even if we get another Flash movie, they'll probably be way later when they're going to do some other shit. And now this movie,
Yeah.
knowing the Flash, seeing Flashpoint, I know how it's going to end. It's going to end with an excuse to reset everything. He's in a new universe. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we're probably never see none of these niggas ever again. So
Yeah, we've confirmed
whatever.
that there are infinite universes now. We can do whatever we want. And now we're gonna start fresh and with James
Never
Gunn
mind.
shit. So enjoy Blue Beetle and Superman. That's like
Hey, Blue
what
Beetle.
and I'm down. I think Blue
Yeah.
Beetle looks fun. And I like the Blue Beetle character.
Yeah.
But again, just
All
something
right.
fun. Low expectation. I enjoyed the
Uh,
movie.
yeah. The scores. I do scores. We do in 100 0 to 100 scale here, so we give like a really in-depth number straight from the heart of how you really feel how good a movie is. Now, me personally, I have to give it a 88 out of 100 flames, man. 88 out of 100.
That's
I had a really good time watching this movie. I don't really have a lot of qualms with it. Of course, the CGI is bad, but I can't do CGI,
yeah,
so I can't really
yeah.
complain that
Me neither.
much.
Again, I'm not too harsh on that either, honestly. Like it's a I know it's a big talking point, but it's like, I mean, hey man, I enjoy myself too. So I can't even fake. I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna be very generous because I love the Flash. And this because I had such low expectations, I was pleasantly
So
surprised.
what, 80?
80.
80. Okay, 80 even. Okay, bet.
Yeah, 80 even. 80. It didn't blow me out the way, but I wasn't blown. I didn't leave the theater being like, man, that sucked. Which is how I felt when I left Justice League and many other of these DC movies. Like Batman versus Superman, Justice League, Wonder Woman 2. You
Oof.
name very
Oof.
many of them. And I felt like, God
Oof.
damn, that sucked. And like I didn't feel that after this movie. I was like, that was fun. I enjoyed that. Like that we had a good time with it.
Yeah, this is like I said, bro. If DC could do this twice a year, it'll be fine. Just slide on a fucking Batman, man. Like there's a lot of Batman propaganda. Y'all have
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
too many characters
Yeah,
stuff
I'm just
on
ready
Batman
for
and
James
Superman,
Gunn's
bro.
universe,
That's
like
just not fun.
a cohesive vision.
Yeah.
Because the best thing about DC is that shared universe and that connectivity between everybody. So it's just like, yeah, I'm glad to see
Mhm.
somebody who knows what's up with that. James Gunn, I believe, and he seems very passionate about the Superman project too. And you got to build the heart of DC around Superman. They got Batman shit popping already. They already have a Elseworld
Yeah.
Batman that's popping. They got an Elseworld Joker. See, like
You
they're
got
good. They're
Matt
good.
Reeves Batman too. Like
Yeah.
still got that happening. Yeah. And they not bringing bruh, for half a second, I was like, okay. At the end of the movie, I was like, okay. Robert Pattinson is going to jump out the car. Oh, George Clooney. Oh,
Yeah, I
what the
wasn't
fuck?
expecting that either. At
Now, if
least
it
I'll
was
say like
Robert
I didn't
Pattinson,
expect
I'd be like, okay, cool.
I certainly didn't see that coming too, which is like, see, stuff like that. That was fun. Like I didn't expect to see George Clooney hop out. I
Yeah,
was like,
that
what
was
the?
fun.
Yeah, it's just like I had fun, and I just had low expectations. Just wanted a movie. I had fun. It was simple. I knew it wasn't going to probably have lasting consequences or go into a saga that mattered because it's like this is part of a dead universe. This is the last movie
Yeah.
basically of the Snyderverse that resets it to transition it to James Gunn's universe. So like, yeah.
Mm,
So just going in with those expectations, I had fun.
yeah.
80
Me too,
flames for
man.
me.
80 flames for the jizzle and 88 for El Kizzy. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us on a new episode of Channel Orange. I was your host, LK the God, the deity, the mogul. You know what I'm saying? I've been here with my co-host, the
Ooh.
Puff Co-Pilot. We have been here on Fire Squad Podcast Network. Subscribe everywhere that podcasts are available where people listen to stuff with their ears and their hearts. Tell us when you love them. Gang.
Okay.
Can't see, so.